Sorry, we're closed.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back, Sean. You look spectacular
Our
today.
audience is nothing but true ladies and real gentlemen.
Indeed. Indeed it is. You look fantastic today. We just got haircuts. We're feeling fresh. I have one straight cup with some water.
Go Mountaineers. They just signed that quarterback from Georgia. He just signed on the dotted line.
Oh, was that not wasn't official yet?
He wanted to graduate from Georgia first.
I like this angle.
I was my camera. I
don't know about this.
phenomenal right now.
I look fantastic.
Well, this is when we started doing the above angle.
Yeah.
We started
I'm just
being
saying,
able
like,
to
right now,
not
I'm
have to look
very
through.
straight on right now.
We didn't have to look through our ring lights anymore. But hey, you know, this is growing pains of a podcast here.
Yeah, this is very above angle, as you can if you look up here.
Yeah, but that's nice.
It is nice. I have my lime green, makes me look tanner.
Oh man, you are a handsome man.
Anyway, question of the day. As we always start each episode off, which I'm really enjoying this segment. I've enjoyed.
It's a nice touch.
It's a nice segment, isn't
As
it?
long as it's a good
Good
topic,
question.
Yeah.
Which I feel like we've had some pretty good questions.
Yeah, I think last week's was pretty bad.
What was last week?
I don't know, but I didn't care for it that much.
Question of the day. This comes from Josh Richards,
Okay,
who I quite like. I think
I
he's
actually do as well.
a good dude. I also think he's fairly mature for his age.
I would agree very much to that.
Yeah, he handles a lot of tough stuff on BFF Spod that I am impressed with how he handles it.
Very much.
Anywho, question of the day. Would you do all of the TikTok dances and trends if it meant your life would change for the better in a significant way? So the reason we asked this, and I think we actually talked about this once before, is Josh went on the show on BFFs, and they do this segment where they make fun of stuff he's posted before, which we should do that segment. Me and you have definitely posted embarrassing things.
Most definitely.
Definitely. We should do that segment. But where Josh posts some ridiculous shit as he's growing on what was the platform before TikTok?
Oh, it was on Musical.ly.
Musical.ly.
Really?
Yeah, that's how he originally got started on Musical.ly. And
Kudos to him.
he grew, and TikTok took him to the Mecca.
To the moon.
He's huge now. 21-year-old kid or something like that. But he was asked on the show, like obviously he's embarrassed by some of this stuff. It is kind of cringeworthy. But he's like, and a great quote, he's like, guys, it worked. Like he did become, like he is a megastar now. Like
He is.
people that make fun of him now for that cringeworthy stuff are just people that are jealous.
Yes.
We're at that point now. Like this guy is a stud. He's probably making money out his butt, and
Out
he's
his
got
butt.
and he's got girls everywhere. So the guy is living the dream. So that's why I use him as an example, and that's where this TikTok this question came from. Would you do all of those dances and trends if you knew your life would get to that type of Josh Richards type level?
I would say, I mean, the thing is with Josh Richards is I'm impressed by him, and I admire his tenacity to go and ascend to the level that he's at. I am not aspiring to be in that arena, like a same level of significance, I guess, but not. I do not want to be like that. That's just. I mean, not to say it's anything negative about it. That's just not where
So that's why I prefaced in this thing that your life would change in the better
Right.
in a significant way. You're not necessarily going to become a TikTok star.
Right.
Okay?
No. I understand. So what I'm saying, the reason I bring this up is because the answer is yes, I would do them. But I would like to put in the caveat that there are things, even so, that would be hard to press the publish button.
Of course.
Some of the dances I could get behind. Most of the dances I could get behind. The thirst traps, I would have I saw him some of the ones when he was like licking the camera. When he was like,
Yes.
that's going to be on the internet now.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever.
Yep.
100
100. Clip that, Miranda.
Clip this. Let's make it it's content.
100%. Okay, let's stop.
Make me famous. No, those would be very challenging for me to. Those would be the things where I would have a really hard time with it. But if you're telling me that it's guaranteed, then I would. I have also, just slight deviation from this. I used to propose this question to my college basketball teammates, and I said, "Would you, if you made 100% of your shots, all of them, no matter where you were on the court, 100 every time if you could get the ball off, it's going in, but you had to shoot like this, or something crazy like that,
Yeah.
would you shoot like that?" My answer was 100%. I'd be the greatest basketball player of all time.
Of all time.
But there were a lot of people that were like, absolutely not.
So, so again, it's the exact same model. Are you willing to feel embarrassment in the beginning to get to where you want to go? And it's similar to what Gary Vee talks about when he talks about that wine library, where he said like he was making YouTube videos before anyone was making YouTube videos.
Let me tell you something. One of the most amazing things that you can do if you are in this world of being a creator or entrepreneur, or really trying to make it and trying to publish and get yourself going on social media, is to go to Gary Vee's YouTube channel and even his Instagram and scroll all the way back to the beginning. Now, as you know, he publishes more than anybody on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
So you will be scrolling for a while. But he is literally with a camera on a wooden table in his living room with the same fire that he has right now, just bringing the heat to the video. And it is true. Like when you see it, you're like, damn it. Like, yeah, he wasn't kidding. This is really what he did.
He is like, I remember he talked about once about how he was more famous than Mike Trout. And he's like, I am a 40-year-old businessman. And this guy might be one of the greatest, if not the greatest baseball player of all time. Obviously now Shohei
But could you
Ohtani.
strike him out? Could you strike out Gary Vee?
Yes, I could strike out Gary Vee.
You
But
didn't think he would DM enough influencers to get it to learn how to hit? We need to arrange this. Gary Vee, who might see this? Let's tag Gary Vee in this clip. Clip this.
clip it. We got 2 clips already.
Gary Vee, we challenge you to face Pat Light in a hard pitch softball. Hard pitch softball. And if you get a hit, now you got to play me one-on-one.
But yeah, there's this model of you got to do things like TikTok. Me and you both had this goal. Neither of us achieved the goal, but both of us had this goal for the month of April. It's actually April 7th to May 7th, so we actually haven't finished yet. We have 3 more days. But from April 7th to May 7th, we're going to try to post 4 times per day on TikTok. And again, neither of us have achieved this goal. I haven't even come close. I think the goal is like 124 posts in this amount of in 30 days or something like that. I'm at like 50. So I've certainly posted quite a bit, as have you.
I went from 70 followers to I have 301 right now.
301. And
you posted way more than I did.
yeah, and so now I was at 18,000 followers. I'm now at 25,000. So, and think about that's I would typically have to triple my post output to like I'm at 7,000 followers gained. Would it have tripled my followers? Like, are you talking about?
Well,
would you have gotten 21,000 followers?
Does this not bring us right back to the original full Gary Vee day?
Full Gary Vee day.
A couple years ago for the folks at home. A couple years ago, Patrick and I. Now we've been following this guy. If you don't know who Gary Vee is,
2017.
if you don't know who Gary Vee is, I mean, this guy is intoxicating. Like his message, especially in the beginning. I mean, you really get like swept up in his message, and it's true. And I don't think that he says anything complicated.
No,
just about like hustling and grinding and doing the dirty work. And Patrick and I would always, we'd see him going live on Google Plus at 3:30 in the morning, and be like, we'd always say, "What was the line?" Go to sleep, Gary.
Go to sleep, Gary. Jesus.
Gary. And one day we just decided that what if we were to spend an entire day as if Gary Vee was like monitoring everything we do, and if he, we had to do exactly as he would do, which meant DMing all of the influencers. I mean, phone calls, emails, posting 25 times. Like you name it, we were doing it, and we did it from I don't even think we did a real full day. I think we probably did from like 7 a.m. until like 6 p.m.
Yeah, probably.
And this is one of my presentations that I'm doing. I did the math, and it came out. I ended up selling. I sold like 5 high ticket clients. Sold a bunch of courses. Ended up making like 50 to 60 grand in one day. I mean, it didn't like all come in one day, but over the course. And it was like, man, imagine if you did this every single day.
Yeah.
Like this, what could your life exactly be. And if you want to learn more about that, you go to weightroomwealth.com right now and we'll show you how to do that. But that it is so fascinating because I've always thought that people largely know what to do. It's just the decision to not do it.
I just heard a story with Gary where he talked about how he got his first client on Twitter and how he would go on Twitter when no one was using it right in the
Like a
beginning.
media client? Like a advertising
I
client?
forget who it was, but let's say it was Johnson & Johnson. But it was a fairly big name. He would go on Twitter and spend 7 hours a day on Twitter. Now, coincidentally, when I first started, kind of getting more into the social media stuff, I would spend 7 hours a day on Twitter. But my goal was to get, I think it was 100,000 impressions a day on my
I remember
Twitter.
you doing that.
And you grow. Let me tell you, you grow. If I kept doing that, I'd be in a much bigger presence on Twitter right now. But 100,000 impressions a day. Now he was doing, like I said, 7 hours, whatever it was. And then he got some. Let's say Johnson & Johnson came, asked him to teach them how to do Twitter. God, the name of the company is right. It ran to my tongue. I can't remember what it was, but
Like a legit company?
Legit company. And he said, "Yeah, no problem, and pay me $80,000." And they said, "Okay." And it was just like, again, there is a model here to be able to do that. If you post good content, remember you can't post shit, but if you post good content, as much as it pains me to say this, but as Gary would say, at scale. If you post good content at scale, it just works. I don't know what else to tell you. It just freaking works.
It really
like
does.
I plan on upping my TikTok game. I haven't posted. I don't remember last time I posted on Instagram.
Oh, no, me neither.
Because you just post and you lose followers.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. And so now my strategy to gain on Instagram is to gain on TikTok and just have hopefully people click that button to go over to Instagram, like I do with every good looking girl that I come across.
I honestly don't even care about Instagram anymore.
No, it's useless. It's useless. TikTok is the way.
There's no question.
So I plan on upping it 2 to 4 times a day is my goal at all times.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit. The last couple of days I've done 3 a day.
Yeah. I think by June 1, there's an above average chance that I have already surpassed my Instagram following.
I mean, it is completely different game. But here's the interesting thing that I from my point of view is always the most fascinating. Like you and I, we've really become numb to the embarrassment. I mean, just to a certain degree,
extent,
to a certain
yes.
degree, like we've become numb to the. I still to this day remember posting my first Instagram story, and it was when I was living in LA and I was like taking a walk and it was this beautiful garden. And I took a picture of the garden, and I just was like trying to like get into the Gary V mode.
I think I remember that.
And I just posted it, and I remember being like, oh my god, like everyone's gonna see this, and they're all gonna think, like, here, what is Sean's post? Is he trying on social media now? Which I was, and the most embarrassed I ever was, man. I think I've told you this. Most embarrassed I ever was on social media. Gary V, son of a bitch. Gary V talked about the $1.80 strategy, which you and I have so pleasantly described it as comment city. And he said that what you do...
Also, to be fair, we were doing like the $23 strategy.
This is really how you and I started growing. He's talked about this $1.80 strategy where you go into people in your industry or your like community and you comment on their photos and you incessantly comment on their photos. You do it over and over. And at the time I heard about this, I was working for the Lakers. You were playing for the Twins, Pirates, and we were like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to do it. So I would go to Lakers hashtags and stuff. And one day I was in the weight room at Staples Center before
I
a
remember
game.
this story.
I was in the weight room at Staples Center before the game. And Ivica Zubac, who was a rookie at the time, he's now on the Clippers. I think he's a starting center for the Clippers now. He walks in, big 7-foot Croatian guy, and everybody there called me Slight. And he walks in, he's got his phone, and he goes, "Hey, Slight, is this how you get followers?" And he showed me a picture that I had commented on, and it was such an embarrassing comment. It was like, "Hey, I hope you all had fun at the game." You know, this was a great W for the team, or something stupid like that. You know, you're giving these hundreds of comments out in a day. You're just putting out crap. And I had a really good slick comeback. I was like, hey, not all of us are 7-foot NBA stars, right?
Of course.
And I covered it well, but in my head, I was mortified.
Mortified.
I was absolutely mortified.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
I never went back to the Lakers hashtags because like these
No.
freaking guys are all scoping me on this stuff.
Yeah, dude, it's that is so funny because it's so true. Like the things that I posted, like I would comment on people's things. I don't remember ever having a moment where someone caught me on it, but you do.
So mortifying.
It is mortifying. Then there was no better sigh of relief in Instagram world for me and you than when they took away the following thing where you can go on and see people's activity of what they've been recently doing.
Oh.
For me, like see, Pat Light commented on this and 700 other pictures.
That's always what it was. That's always what it was. Sean Light left 316 comments.
But here's the thing, and here's why my answer to the question of the day is also yes. It's because I've had now brand deals. If social media was my full time, I would be I would do things in a bigger way. But I've now had brand deals. I've had people reach out to me. I've gotten things. We're getting a sponsor for the podcast, and it's all because of that fateful day when I'm sitting on my couch in Bradenton, Florida, just after a day of spring training, and Sean texted me, "Hey, have you ever heard of a guy named Gary V?"
Oh my God.
And I was like, "No, I haven't." And then Tim DiFrancesca, you was on about Tim and all that stuff. And I was like, let's give this fucking thing a shot. So that's what we did. And I think we started off with likes, if I'm not mistaken. And we started gaining. And then I think you threw the first couple comments out there.
And it was
you were
wild.
like 5 for 5
Yeah,
with people.
it was
and you're
wild.
like, we got to do comments.
Well, especially at the time because you and I were somebody.
Yes.
And like it was cool. Like I remember people were like screenshotting like, "Oh my God, the strength coach for my favorite team just commented."
Yeah. What's crazy to me, and this is similar to what Gary Vee said, is that I am infinitely more popular now than when I put on a Red Sox uniform.
Yeah.
And when you, as a little kid, think about becoming a Red Sox player, a player for the Yankees, you just assume you're immediately famous, and no matter where you go, you cannot be like you're essentially Michael Jordan now.
Yep.
And which is not the case, specifically in
even
baseball.
close.
Specifically in baseball, because we are pretty average people. Like, although when people look at me, like, oh, that guy's tall, that's all they get.
Right.
When LeBron James walks, they're like, oh, that's fucking LeBron James. And even like the super tall guys,
Yeah.
like the basketball players, it's called
You're
space.
like that guy.
Call a spade. They have a unique. They look.
They stand out.
They
stand
100% stand out. You have 6'10", very in shape people walking down. Like,
I remember walking through the mall with you, the Freehold Mall.
oh yes,
And some guy walks up to you and says hi, and you guys start talking, and just like this like regular guy. And when we walked by, I was like, "Who the heck was that?" And you were like, "That is the closer for the Orioles."
Yes.
And I was like, "What?"
yeah. Baseball players just blend in. They blend in very well, and although they're very good at their craft, it's very easy to get just in the mix with baseball players. But I am now, like I said, 10 times bigger than I was when I played baseball. And you know what? I've been embarrassed before. I'm still embarrassed at times. Sometimes I post things, I'm like,
It is
damn it,
most
Pat.
definitely worth it.
It's 100%
It is-
worth it.
it is
if
absolutely
you just
worth it.
get through it. My big thing with TikTok, and I think this would always hold me back. I'm at a different point now, but my big thing with TikTok was just getting to that point where I had enough followers where it is like, okay, now it's like, oh, I get why Pat's doing this.
Whenever you see somebody on TikTok and it's like it starts out like this is how I do it. I see somebody's video and it starts going and I'm like, what the heck is this? And I look over at the likes and it's like 3. I'm like, this is not a good video. Bye.
Exactly.
But if I look over at it and it's like 1.4 million, I'm like,
ooh.
what?
if you see more than 1 million likes, this is a good
I'm
video.
watching the video.
Yes,
I'm
this is a good
watching the video.
So-
So I agree. Once you cross a threshold,
Yes.
it's and Gary always said one of my favorite Gary quotes of all time is everything is stupid until it's not.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful quote. The other thing on top of that I want to, and not sentimental, but something we spoke about earlier today, and I think yesterday, was that quote we saw on TikTok, where it was that gentleman talking about when did it become cool to make fun of people for trying.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. Now, I'm, again, pretty immune. I don't really care so much anymore what people think of me. Although I guess that's not necessarily
I
true
think
because
we all
social
do.
media
Yeah.
essentially is centered around
You-
people
you-
caring about
You
me.
literally want to see the statistics of how much people care about you.
So in a way, yeah. I'm more so speaking about my employees. I
Yeah.
don't care about my employees thinking of me, but
You're just
you know what I'm
looking.
saying.
You're
Like, I'm gonna
aspiring
post
to a different level.
Yeah, I'm going to post
different standards.
Yes, I'm going to post. And
credentials.
if you're just going to make fun of me because I am posting, then suck it. I don't care. What was I saying now? Hell, my back started hurting.
There was the guy who's making fun.
Oh
of people for
yes, and
trying.
he just making just when did it become cool just to make fun of people for trying? And I think it's a lot to do with just people just being like, oh, well, you gotta be kidding me, this guy. Why didn't you just go work a job?
Well, I
Suck it.
think that it was always cool to do that. I mean, I think judging people and gossip is a absolute common form of communication in the world. I think everybody does it, and everybody has always done it. It is standard across the board. But I think that now on social media, it is a very easy way for you to create content while not being the ass clown yourself. Like if I go out and make a dancing video, I look like I have a very real possibility, which we did. We did that one stupid video where we had the filter at the end.
Oh yeah, I got the filter. I didn't do well.
And it didn't, nobody saw it. But
I actually think mine actually picked up because I had a viral video afterward.
okay.
Which always makes you feel better because
That's
that
very
video
true.
brings
It's
it
very
in.
true. It's very true. But so, like, if I do a dancing video, there's a very real possibility that I feel like a complete schmuck at a week later because it performed so poorly.
Of course.
But if I say like, look at this idiot doing this dancing video, I take much less risk on my end to do it, and still people can get behind and be like, yeah, that guy was an idiot, and then now you can start gaining some more notoriety that way. I think that takes real effort on the part of the creator to be cognizant of how they're doing it. Because I think the path of least resistance for the human mind is to go into that negative route and like making fun of people versus you taking the risk.
Yeah. The thing that I love about TikTok is that when you suck, no one sees it. So like a lot of times Instagram sends it out to your friends regardless.
My friends.
But Instagram, I mean TikTok, if it's terrible, it's terrible. Like fuck off, man. I got a community guidelines violation yesterday.
For what? Making fun of somebody?
No, I posted that video of the guy saying that you should have a machete by your bed.
Okay.
Guy's out of his mind. But apparently he wants you to have a machete by your bed, doesn't understand why you don't do it. So I did that, and then I responded, I stitched it, which is my go-to move on TikTok. I stitched it saying, like making fun, be like, why don't I have a machete by my bed?
I saw it.
So they gave me community guidelines, and they're like one more violation, and like you could get banned from certain things. And here's my thing with TikTok about that. Is I need you to have a better system if you're going to ban. I've seen like big accounts banned that probably didn't deserve to be banned.
Well, with this whole Elon Musk thing and Twitter, and there's starting to be some rumblings about what they were doing behind the scenes in terms of like suppressing certain accounts. I wonder if other social platforms are going to start looking at this and say like, okay, maybe they're onto us here.
Yes.
Maybe we have to be smarter about it.
Yeah, because I've gotten like a couple community guidelines violations. One was for me posting a security camera footage of Green Rock where someone pulled the fire alarm.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah, community guidelines.
You got to imagine there's no, it's not, people aren't individually looking at that.
No,
right?
I think that enough people like
flag it?
then they just pull it, then you're allowed to appeal. So I appealed last night and got taken back.
So if enough people flag it, you think
they
it's
just
just an
pulled
auto
immediately.
pull.
Yeah,
There's
auto
not
pull.
like somebody like going like, let me check into this now.
No, it's an auto pull, I think, and then you appeal, and then they look into it. And so that's what I did last night. I got the community guidelines taken off, but there's certain things like that fire alarm I didn't get taken off. Like what? Why that guy pulled the fire alarm in my bar? How is that community guidelines for bullying?
Maybe they're thinking like, this doesn't stand in the court of law, but maybe they're thinking like privacy concerns, like people who, it's like secret footage.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But anyway,
Great content.
Great content. But so with that, to wrap up question of the day, we both would say yes. I thought that would be the answer for us.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see what the results are for the question of the
And
day.
for the people listening, this is what I'll say this as experience in this category is you definitely get to a point where you just stop caring. You're just like, whatever, like people know I do this now. And like in the beginning, like there's no doubt that when you start, people are saying like, what is this? And they're making fun of you hard. There's no doubt we got made fun of hard in the beginning. But you just have to get to a point where it's the norm. And like, here goes Sean again, whatever, scroll. Here goes Sean again, scroll. I don't care. And it's just over. It's just, you get to that point.
Yes.
That's the money spot.
Yeah, and then also to keep in mind, as you grow, I mean, maybe your friends stop, but as you grow, the more haters you're going to have. Like, I remember we used to see that girl that was a big TikToker. She's got like 3 million followers now on TikTok.
Oh, I forgot about her.
Yeah.
Here's a
Wacko.
box of chocolates.
But she got made fun of all the time for the stuff she posted. And granted, she did post some. I'm like, I don't think this is on brand for you. I don't know why you're posting this, but whatever. So she got posted. She got made fun of quite a bit. But I mean, you're talking about making fun of someone with over 1 million followers, and probably if she's able to monetize, I don't know what she's doing out there, but if she was able to eventually monetize that, she's probably making some decent money doing all this. And everyone that makes fun of her is sitting at home, or not sitting at home, but
Everybody's still making fun of her.
huh?
Everybody's still making fun of her.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are,
Yeah.
100%. But interesting enough, then making fun of never goes away. You're just seeing enough positive return that you don't care as much anymore.
Yeah. That is when you stop caring for sure.
Yeah, like I said, right now, I gained 7,000 followers in under a month, and I'm sitting there being like, okay, I'm just gonna keep posting. I go through TikTok every morning.
TikTok right now.
Yep.
People, you can get accidentally followed on TikTok. People just put their finger on the wrong part of the screen.
No, I go through TikTok every morning, like a little bit in the afternoon, sometimes at night, and the moment I see something, if I'm in bed or something, I'm not going to do it right now. I will immediately stitch it. I will just like my drafts are filled with my face just sit looking at it until I can save it, and then I go back and I edit that part out and I make a real TikTok. That's all I do, and it's just. I just continuously post, and now it's just the where you need to be. So again, to wrap it up, we both say yes. Interested to see what the Twitter community will do with that.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Right? I thought it was a good one. Dive a little into baseball. I got 2 more topics for us.
Okay.
Dive a little into the baseball, and we're going to dive a little into the Kentucky Derby.
Okay.
Baseball, Red Sox quickly, just as we expected, have not put it together, as we've seen.
Yankees are the best team in baseball.
Unbelievable. So the Red Sox actually did have a good game last night against Syndergaard, who I called that they would hit well.
Where's he playing now?
Angels.
Oh.
They had a good game against Syndergaard. Final was 4-0. Waka is outstanding. 1.38 ERA on the year. Shut out the Angels. I don't think he pitched a complete game because I didn't watch the whole thing, but shut out the Angels. Phenomenal game. That was the first game this year with the Red Sox. I was like, okay, that was a good team. That was a team.
Right.
The Angels are good this year.
I was going to say.
Yeah. That was a freaking good team. The team that can actually compete in the AL East. It's the first time all year that I thought that. That's all I have to fucking say about the Red Sox. You know, the everything surrounding how we haven't solidified Devers or Bogarts long term, which is kind of frustrating, but I trust in Bloom. The team has just been, the first month, it was just an absolute shit show. We lost 2 out of 3 to seemingly every team, including the fucking Baltimore Orioles. Just not a good month. I'm throwing it out. This is a team that needs to put things together. They have all the pieces. It's just a matter if they all mesh together to make it a good team. If they don't, they don't. If they do, they do.
We're looking at a Subway Series World Series right now.
Right now we are, which is, even
Very
as a Red Sox
exciting.
fan, that's exciting.
Very exciting.
That's exciting. I root for the Mets like you wouldn't fucking believe. But the Yankees look spectacular.
They look very, very good.
Like, really good. Mm-hmm. You know, they're going toe-to-toe with the Blue Jays, which is a really good
They beat
team.
them 9-1 last night.
This Yankee team, now, I want to talk more, and what I want to do here, Sean, just for the folks at home as well, is, because I haven't told my brother this, that I want to do this on the show, is I want to do a more all-encompassing podcast, because we do it year-long. We don't, like, whereas Section 10, well, I can say that. They can't sue me. The Carabas Pod, they take a break somewhere. I forget where it is, or at the very least, they go down to once a week. We just do once a week all year.
Okay.
I want to dive more into baseball as a whole.
I love it.
That's obviously with the focus of Red Sox and Yankees, but I want to dive more into like the Mets and the National League and all that stuff, and talk a little bit more about the whole sport. And then when football season comes, do that as well, because me and you follow sports enough. At the very least, one of us follows each sport enough
Yeah.
to be able to talk intelligently about it. But anyway, baseball. we are legitimately looking at a possibility. Again, it's only 1 month in at a Subway Series, which is exciting.
Amazing.
It's very exciting. The Mets look very good. If they can stay healthy, they got a solid squad over there.
They do.
And the Yankees, man, holy shit, they're on 11 game now winning streak. 11 game winning streak. They are just putting together really good games. They just look like a really well-rounded ball club. What are your thoughts? You watched them more than I have.
Well, I'm not sold on the Yanks just yet. I think that they're riding pretty good hitting right now, which has always been an up and down deal. I still think that I like the Mets better than the Yankees right now, just because they have better pitching. But I mean, it's exciting. I mean, this is how the Yankees have done it for a long time. I'm not trying to think about the rest of the AL right now and who would be in contention. I know that the AL East is the best. Who else would be up there right now?
It's the AL East is loaded. I don't know. I haven't looked at the standings. You know what, Sean? I can pull up the standings though, because this makes sense. The White Sox are supposed to be good this year.
Shout out Joe Brand. He's not even going to listen to this, but Joe Brand. He was my announcer in Kane County for the Kane County Cougars. He got his big league call-up, play-by-play. It's the hardest place to get a big league call-up because you have to wait for the announcer to die.
Yeah.
For them to takes for a position to become open. So shout out to Joe Brand is getting the major league call-up for the Chicago White Sox play-by-play.
Okay, so these are the top squads in the AL right now. Obviously, you got Yankees and Blue Jays. Even the Rays are in that talk. The Red Sox need have some work to do to get into that level. Twins look very good right now, 15-9. That's really the only team from the Central, with the White Sox and Guardians I wouldn't say the Guardians are underperforming. I would think that's about where the Guardians would be. The White Sox, I think, might be underperforming.
The Guardians, I still can't get
Angels look good. Astros look good. Mariners are flirting with 500. But they always seem to not flirting with 500. They are 500, but they always seem to fuck it up.
Yeah, the team that came to my mind first was Houston because they've just been around it for a little bit. Who was in the World Series for the American League last year?
World Series. The Red Sox lost to the Rays.
It was the Rays. It was Rays Dodgers, right?
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
I was the Dodgers won.
Yeah, the Dodgers won.
2021.
Yeah, look that up.
World Series. That was 2 years ago. It was Houston, Atlanta.
Houston,
year.
It was. That's who the Red Sox lost to.
Yeah, the Braves won it. Remember they had the parade and the guy drove
The
like
Braves
40 miles.
Yeah, what the hell are we talking about? The Dodgers.
Remember the parade guy drove like 40 miles an hour down the
yes,
parade
and
route?
then my old spring training mate, Tyler Matzik, who had the yips when I had the yips in Seattle, couldn't throw to first, couldn't throw to home, really struggled, got released before I got released. Is one of the better relievers on the Atlanta Braves in that World Series team, and in the parade almost got arrested. They thought he was a fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, looking at it now, I mean,
the two best teams in baseball right now are the Yankees and Mets.
You got to say whoever comes out of the AL East is going to be the World Series favorite.
You'd have to think that.
I would say, okay, that being said, and then we're looking down here at the bottom.
Maybe not the World Series favorite, but the team to get to the World Series in the American League.
The AL favorite. I'm looking down here. Oh, by the way, super random here, off topic. We'll talk about baseball. When I was working for the Diamondbacks, I think it was my last year, and I'm in spring training. And you know how it is. Like every year, there's a new draft guys, and if you're out in a full season affiliate, like the people who got drafted at the short seasons, you don't even recognize them as really part of the organization. And I remember this one freaking guy. He was just so annoying. He was just always around. He was asking questions, and he was just like, I thought nothing of him whatsoever. And I was like, this guy's just one of the random 180 minor leaguers that we have that'll never be anything. And it was actually Jazz Chisholm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
For the Marlins.
He
now,
certainly
who
is
he
somebody.
Became
He's somebody.
A lot of something.
Should answer his questions, Sean.
Oh, I always answered the questions, but in my head I was just like, "What is with this guy? Like, what he was acting real. Like he didn't have any like the swag at the time, but he was acting like he was like our first top prospect guy. And I was like, I've never heard of you, so like we're gonna need to pull the reins in a little bit here. And he is definitely the most popular guy that came out of. I mean, he's good. He's
Out of Arizona?
out of Arizona.
Dansby?
Huh?
Dansby?
Dansby is up there, or I mean, Mitch Haniger was
Yeah,
pretty
but he's
good.
not as
He's
big
not
as
like,
Dansby
yeah,
and
Jazz
Chaz.
is too swaggy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so random fact there. So, but anyway,
All right.
yeah,
Early predictions. World Series. Right now. Right here. Right now. Early. We'll do it at the end of each month. Early predictions right now. Who are you saying is in the World Series?
I'm going Yankees Dodgers. I'd love to see
Dodgers.
the Mets, but the Dodgers haven't gotten worse. The Dodgers have been in it for a while, and they're just as good as they've been. So I'm going to go Yankees, Dodgers. I don't like really anybody else in the AL East. The Blue Jays are nice, but they're young and experienced. The Yankees have guys that have at least been around and have been under these pressure situations before. So I'm going to go Yankees, Dodgers.
Yankees, Dodgers. Okay. I'm going to say right now, in my opinion, I don't see at the end of month one how you don't pick Yankees, Mets. I understand what you're saying, Dodgers. It's hard for me not to be like, well, the Mets will be the Mets. And this will all come crashing down eventually. They've just looked really good. I love Buck Showalter as far as putting a team
Has DeGrom
together.
started playing yet?
Huh?
Has DeGrom started playing yet?
I have to look. I don't watch the Mets ever.
I'll look.
But you have this great manager finally in place there. You don't have some of these Scribinis that have been managing them.
Great word.
And they still have some room for improvement. Trevor May, who was my teammate out in Minnesota, is a solid reliever. He hasn't been pitching very well as of late. If you can get him either back to what he needs to be or someone to replace him, that puts a big hole in their relieving right now. That's
No DeGrom yet.
no DeGrom yet. They've won
That's
18
even
games.
more impressive.
They've won 18 games without DeGrom. Even though they seem to lose all of DeGrom's games because they have such tight buttholes when Jacob, because there was it's such a known thing that they can't score for him. But you have a good manager. You got a I don't remember who is their GM Sandy Alderson now. I think he brought him back.
I don't remember.
Steve Cohen. You have a great owner who's trying to win ball games here. I mean, they just pulled a pretty ballsy move in DFAing Robinson Cano and just saying, "See ya, bud." Like, we don't care.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is Johnny Moneybags right there.
Johnny Moneybags.
Holy smokes.
So they're going to be.
We're all set with you, pal.
Yeah, and they think it's more than likely that they think he's going to get another job, which the Mets will have to front majority of that
Not
money.
a problem for Johnny Moneybags.
And if I remember correctly, in this situation, the Mets have to pay all of the money minus league minimum. So the team that picks him up will get him for league minimum, and the difference the Mets have to pay.
is he any good anymore?
No, he's not. But to get him for league minimum, it's Robinson Cano. If you have a hole at second base or something like that,
He used to be the man.
or a DH role that you really he might be better than some of the people out there. Yeah. So and you get him for league minimum. That's a steal.
Yeah.
But who knows what happens there, regardless. But I think Yankees Mets right now. I think looking at this team, I think there's obviously a ton of baseball to be played. But when you talk about the Blue Jays, who are a young but exciting team, adding George Springer and the likes, having some solid pitching. I think they got an opportunity. The Rays are always going to be in the mix. The Red Sox, if they can put together this club, they're going to be in the mix. Twins are a solid team. They seem to screw it up, though, too. Angels, I would love the Angels to be a contender. And get Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout in the damn playoffs, and let's have some fun. I think that would be exciting. And there's, again, a ton of baseball to be played, but the two best teams in baseball right now are the New York Yankees and the New York Mets.
How amazing.
That's just the way it is.
That's great.
So it's as a Red Sox fan, I prefer it not to be that way. But if you just talk to me as a baseball fan and one happened to live right outside Manhattan,
Yeah.
New York, there's going to be a
fun.
buzz as
That'd
it
be fun.
keeps going. There'll
That'd
be
be
a
fun.
buzz, and if they get to the World Series,
All
forget
three
it.
of the Mets fans will be so excited.
Yes. So I don't see how you don't pick those two teams right now, at least in my view. So that's all I have for baseball, Sean. But let's move on to the Kentucky Derby.
Okay.
It is Derby week. I am attending for the first time in my life.
You will be. You have big shoes to fill, as Bob Baffert will not be.
Yes, I am not training any of the horses, but I'll be attending the Kentucky Derby. I'm sitting in what's called the Turf Club.
Yes.
So that will be fun. And I don't know where that is, but I heard it's good, and the tickets were quite expensive.
I'm sure it's lovely.
I'd be flying private again for my second time now. And the big news, though, is in my other pod, I was convinced to put $6,000 on a horse.
Right.
Now, that horse was Mo Dangle. Apparently, by far, the best horse in the race. But it is my understanding that he got a post, or the lane that he's in.
Okay.
For those that don't know lingo, which I'm not even sure that's correct lingo, but he's got a tough post, and not only does he have a tough post,
I think starting gate.
starting gate, yeah, but I think each post.
Okay, maybe.
I think so. But he got a tough one, and apparently not a single Kentucky Derby winner has ever won from that.
Is he like far outside?
Apparently, he is on the rail,
On the rail.
which apparently you just kind of
just
get
squeezed
smothered.
out?
You just get smothered.
It is amazing. It's super interesting that is like a thing. Like that's part of the.
Just very
it's not
difficult.
just like who runs the fastest,
No.
right?
So
Does he have an experienced jockey?
his odds were 7-2. So if I put my
Does they
6,000,
take a dip at all?
oh yeah.
Oh,
if I
no.
if I put my $6,000, I'd win about 18. If I at the other one, which was he's now 10-1, so it would increase me to $60,000. Tempting.
Oh man, you will be like, come on!
Sean, for the folks you don't know back home, I don't really gamble all that much. It's not really my thing. I do
Certain
enjoy to have a little fun.
instances to
Have a
get
little
some-
fun.
yeah.
Have a little fun. Put some money on games that are in a way that makes
Yeah.
the game more interesting. Which is similar to why we love fantasy football so much.
Yep.
The Browns Saints game we
Now
are super
fascinating.
into now. Yes. So same thought process in gambling. So I have a little bit of experience. I have never done something like this. 6,000 smackaroos.
Smackaroos.
So now the good news is that I am not obligated to bet on that horse. I can go the odds favorite if I'd like to. But $60,000 payout seems quite nice. And to know.
Well, I mean, you could take the 700 to 1 and put $10 on him.
But to know that payout is for the best horse in the race is
Supposedly.
supposedly.
The interesting thing about the Kentucky Derby is you never heard of any of these horses until
No.
the 3 days before the
Yeah,
race.
so Jared Carabas' father is a big horse guy.
Okay.
And
I mean, this is how every
Yes.
sports gambling disaster starts.
Exactly, but-
My friend's dad, huge horse guy.
Yes, he's
he
in there.
knows the trainer's cousin's sister.
and they have a thing. But they were what happened, what I liked about it was when we called him, he gave an answer immediately. And when we talked about how much money I put on, he'd be like, "Oh, okay, so you win a little bit over 18,000. Okay." It's nothing. Made me feel a little bit at ease. Now, if you responded Mo Dangle, and then we were like, he's gonna bet $6,000, and the guys, whoa, let's relax here.
What's this guy's track record in the Derby?
I have no idea.
We need to have.
I have no idea.
Information.
I have no idea. But let's.
I'm not. There have been like 150 Kentucky Derbies. I'm not taking the guy on the post if nobody's ever won it.
Very true. It's very, very. You know what,
just
Sean?
simply not
Let's
doing it.
look up right now the odds right now of the Kentucky Derby.
You bring up the odds. I'll bring up the post positions.
Okay. Odds for Kentucky Derby 2022. Here we go. Thank you for auto ending because I have to hold my microphone. All right. Let's see what we got here. CBS Sports. They're reputable. I just wish they didn't get such a bad post. I was all set on Mo Dangle. Mo freaking Dangle. It's loading.
Same. So, okay, I'm up.
You're up.
Yeah, Mo Dangle,
Is he
number
on
one.
He's on the gosh. So I saw an AC. AC, our friend, is a little bit more of a sophisticated gambler, and he was telling me okay, now that he's there, you put money on this, you put money on this, and then if he does it, you'll get both. It's a whole thing. I was like, AC, I'm not doing that. I'm picking a winner, and that's the end of it.
Okay, hold on. According to this, it's saying this is sportingnews.com. They said that there have been 8 winners out of the number one post.
Interesting. So it's not that no one's ever won there. Okay, so that's something.
Nobody has ever won out of post 17.
Which is the furthest.
20 is the furthest.
Okay.
So honestly, you're one of the better positions. I don't know where they're getting this information as one of the worst.
So it looks like so Mo Dangle is now 10-1. Epicenter in they're calling it Program 3.
I mean, War Admiral, post number 1.
Post number 1?
Yeah.
I thought Mo Dangle was post number 1.
No, you've never heard of War Admiral?
No.
It's one of the greatest horses of all time, 1937. I only know that because I'm sitting right here, but
Yes. But it looks as though the best odds right now look like to be this horse named Zandon or Zandon at 3-1.
those are great odds.
3-1, yes. And then you have, if quickly following that, Epicenter at 7-2, and then Messier at 8-1, and it looks like maybe Mo Dangle's after that 10-1.
I think it's Mo Donegal, not Mo Dangle.
We called it Mo Dangle, so I apologize. Mo Dongle, I think, is actually pronounced. I don't think it's Donegal. I think it's Dongle.
Okay.
Mo Dangle. Now it's Mo
Here comes
Dangle.
Mo Dangle down the stretch. He's followed by Happy Jack.
Yes. Okay. So looking at this, if I want to play it safe, I go Zandon. Oh no, yeah, Zandon, and then or Epicenter. Those are
Well, it looks to me like Mo Dangle is a great pick here. I mean, you don't have the best horse supposedly, but look,
you can't pick the favorite. That would be fun.
it's less fun. It's much less fun.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to have the underdog.
Yeah.
But listen. So these are by position. By post. So I'm gonna like each number like post number 1, 8 Kentucky Derby winners.
Yeah.
2, 7, 3, 5, 4, 5. 5 has 10. 6, 2, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 4, 10, 9, and then it's 2, 3, 5, 2, 6, 4, 0, 2, 1, 1.
Okay.
So it looks like the earlier posts are the better ones to be in anyway. 8 and up. I mean, everyone besides number 6. So, but I mean, you're wrong on that. Like they have 8 winners, which is
That's great.
8
8 out of 150.
Yeah, something like that.
Not phenomenal odds, but not terrible odds either. It's like an 8% chance of winning.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that
Was there any posts in there? You saw post winners, right?
Yeah.
Was there anyone that was like, oh, okay, there's like 70 winners from this
From the post
from
positions?
different post position, or is it really
highest
spread
is
out?
10. Highest is 10.
Highest is 10.
Highest is 10.
Oh, I'm liking Mo Dangle
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Oh
Highest is 10.
baby, Mo Dangle.
There's 110, there's 19, and there's a couple 8s.
I think I stick with Mo Dangle right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a game time decision.
Last time somebody won
Can I put this on my credit card? I'm sure they
points. Yeah, I'm sure if they're going to pay, they'll take American Express's money.
Oh yeah.
Last time somebody won out of post number 1 was 1986, though.
Was what 96?
86.
86.
It's been 35 years.
That's a long time. But it could also be like bad horses in there for many of those years. You just don't know that they didn't have a
Patrick,
chance.
You speak the truth, my friend.
Oh man.
Somebody won in
Already
2020.
have sweaty hands.
Somebody won. Yeah, 6,000 is like a strong bet. You mean business with that wager.
The thing is, there are people in even the Turf Club apparently is a very prestigious place to be in. There will be people there giggling at me for that.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
We put $500,000 on Mo Dangle.
Yeah, for sure. They're like, well, I've never heard of this person until about 40 minutes ago. I just heard somebody say it down in the restroom, so we decided to throw 500 G's on
Oh
them.
my goodness.
I think it'd be fun. You throw some cash on a horse, and then you're excited. Just what you want. You just want him to be in it. You don't
Yes.
want him to like,
Come on, baby.
you
Come
know,
on,
you
baby.
don't, you don't want him to be falling behind. You're gonna have maximum LeBron James playoff
Oh,
syndrome.
yeah. This is what he does. This is what he does.
He's probably saving energy. He's saving energy for the home stretch. okay. He's finding his groove. He's finding his groove.
I will be locked in a like
Somebody tell me what Bibby is.
great microphone usage.
Yes.
But I'm going to be so. I don't think you talk about in Fortnite that we don't blink. I will not blink this entire race.
Is
And
it a mile and a quarter or something like that?
If I win, do they give me cash? Am I going to walk out there with $18,000 in cash?
I'm gonna say yes. What else would they give you? A voucher to go to the bank?
Yeah, that'd be. Yeah, they're not back there writing checks. We make this out too.
Is that Pat or Patrick? Yeah, they have to give you cash. You imagine walking out with 18 grand? Just like, Jesus, anybody looking?
What if the $500,000? What if the $500,000 guy wins? He's
it
walking-
must
he's-
happen. It must happen every year.
So that's what I'm saying. I can't imagine they're giving out millions of dollars in cash every year.
What else?
In
What
bills.
would be the?
how much money they'd have to have on
what
hand?
would be the alternative? Do they like record you in the system and they send you a check?
I've never done anything more than like $100 bet. I don't know this life.
Last time I gambled was at a 20 at a casino in Iowa.
By the way, you want to hear something else funny? There is a race after the Kentucky Derby. And they do it because they know the degenerates, if they've lost, they're going to try to win their money back the second time.
That is excellent business practices.
Excellent business
I
practice.
love that.
On top of that, there's a race on Friday that you go to, and you can't just buy for the Derby.
This is for the degenerates.
Yes, you can't just buy for the Derby. You have to purchase the other race too. It just comes as a package, and so that gets you at the Derby again. And to be like, oh, we'll just do a little baby bet today. Well, we do the big ones tomorrow.
It will wet the whistle.
Oh my goodness! All right, so right now, as of this recording on Wednesday, May.
If you bet on Mo Dongle, you let me know who you bet on. I will be locked in.
Oh wait, yeah. Well, you have to be locked in.
Yeah.
Opie and AC, everyone. But as of Wednesday, May 4th at 2:22 p.m., Mo Dongle is still the horse that I'll be betting on. If you are at home listening to this, because we released this on Friday morning. If you are gambling with me on Mo Dongle, please tweet at me. Go on Instagram. So I will repost.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash. I'll repost all of you guys. I need people in my corner for this because this is the biggest bet I've ever done by like 600%. So please be in this with it could be $2. I don't care how much you put on it, but please be in it with me. We'll all have this one little group. I won't put a group chat together because we don't have all your numbers, but we'll have a little group here on social media. But Sean, spectacular show.
I thought this was a good one.
Fantastic show. Also, guys, if you have any questions of the day, if you listen to these, let me know. I got to finish up a question of the day. I always forget question of the day. Let me know because I do come up with them, but
I usually am not paying attention.
no. All right, let's see what the question of the day results are, my friend. Question of the day. We have received 7 minutes left, 74 votes, and landslide. 75.7% say yes, they would do it. I call bullshit. Because I call bullshit, and the reason I call bullshit is because, in my opinion, for a large majority, maybe not a large majority, there's a lot of people out there that are not giving it a chance, not even attempting, and
They just want the guarantee. They want the certainty of it.
So maybe I don't call bullshit.
Yeah.
Because if I said yes, okay, this is what you're going to get,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
They want the
Then
certainty.
they'll go, okay, I'll go fucking do this. I'll go fucking do this.
Didn't even know.
Well, here's a question for you: the 24.3%. What the fuck are you guys doing?
They're
You're
just
guaranteed.
just cynics.
Guaranteed.
Cynics.
Your life changes in a significantly better way.
Too cool.
Too cool for success? That's a weird thing to be too cool for. That's why I should name this podcast, Too Cool for Success. All right, guys. Until next time, please hope that I'm not significantly poor.
Man, it's gonna be so much.
But until next time, guys, over and out.
Sorry, we're closed.